Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring serverless AI running on bare metal anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's really the combination of two things that you wouldn't think would go together.
Right.
The ease of serverless computing with the power of dedicated GPU
So
servers.
for those of us who maybe haven't spent quite as much time in the server racks,
Right.
can you break down what bare metal means in this context?
Oh, absolutely. Bare metal just means that you're working directly with the physical hardware.
Okay.
There's no virtual machines or any layers in between you and that hardware.
So no more like physically wrestling with cables and cooling fans in my basement.
Exactly. And that's where the beauty of combining it with serverless comes in.
Okay.
We're talking about harnessing that raw power, but with the ease and scalability of serverless computing.
Got it.
It's really the best of both worlds.
So the platform that's making all this possible is called Beta9.
Yes.
It's like somebody took the concept of cloud computing and injected it with a super dose of flexibility and control.
And what's really fascinating about Beta9 is how it leverages the accessibility of Python.
Yep.
So anyone who's comfortable with Python can very rapidly deploy AI models.
So theoretically, if I can write a simple Python function, I'm going to run it on a superpowered GPU in a data center across the globe.
That's exactly it. And the secret sauce is this thing called the at-endpoint decorator.
Okay.
You just add this little snippet to your code, and suddenly your function transforms into a serverless function.
Bro.
It's callable over HTTP, so it's like instant on-demand AI.
Hold on. So you're telling me I could write a function to, let's say, analyze a bunch of data.
Right.
I slap on this at endpoint thing.
Yeah.
And Beta9 would find a GPU out there somewhere to run it, all without me dealing with any server setup.
Precisely. And it gets even more interesting because Beta9 doesn't just randomly pick any GPU.
Okay.
It actually analyzes things like resource availability, network latency, and even data location to choose the optimal place to run your code.
So it's like intelligently distributing my workload for maximum efficiency,
That's a great way to put it.
like having an AI traffic cop directing my code to the fastest lane.
Exactly. And because it's serverless, you only pay for the GPU power that you actually use.
Okay.
Which is a huge game changer because it completely eliminates that need to invest in very expensive server infrastructure.
Yeah.
This really makes cutting-edge AI accessible to startups, researchers, anyone really on a budget.
Right. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
That levels the playing field.
Yes.
But what if I do have my own hardware? Like what if I have a beefy GPU in my, basement lab?
Hmm.
Can Bed9 work with that?
Yeah, and that's actually one of the most remarkable things about Beta9
Okay.
is its ability to connect virtually any GPU to your cluster.
Wow.
You could literally have a GPU rig sitting in your basement, and with a single command and a CURL request,
Really?
you can integrate that into a global AI network.
So it's not just about accessing Beta9's network of GPUs.
Right.
I can bring my own hardware to the party,
Exactly.
make it part of this like distributed superbrain.
Yeah, that is a great way to think about it. And it opens up so many possibilities for researchers, for startups,
Yeah.
for anyone with very specific hardware needs or who wants that computation to happen in specific geographic locations.
Right.
Imagine a research team running simulations on a cluster composed of university labs and personal rigs spread across continents.
That's wild. It feels like we're on the verge of a distributed computing revolution
Yeah.
where anyone can contribute their processing power to solving these really complex problems.
And Beta9 provides the tools to manage this complex system.
Yeah.
It acts as a centralized control plane for your distributed GPU cluster,
Okay.
no matter where in the world those GPUs are located.
So I'm not just throwing a bunch of GPUs in a virtual room and hoping for the best.
Exactly.
There's an actual system to monitor and manage everything.
Absolutely. The Beta9 command line interface
Yeah.
offers easy-to-use commands to list your machines, check their status, and manage their resources all from a single point.
Now, with all this talk about connecting machines and sharing resources, I'm sure somebody out there is thinking about security.
Of course.
We're talking about sensitive data and powerful computing resources that are, floating around.
That's a very important point to bring up, and Beta9 has addressed this head on.
Okay.
They've really prioritized security from the ground up,
Great.
using advanced technologies to create a private encrypted network
Okay.
for your data and your computing resources.
So it's not just powerful, it's secure too.
Exactly. You can focus on building your AI knowing that your information is safe.
Right.
And that peace of mind is invaluable.
This is incredible. So we have this platform that makes deploying AI to powerful GPUs anywhere in the world incredibly simple.
Yeah.
It's secure, And we can even bring our own hardware to the party.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Well, now that we've kind of laid the groundwork and covered some of the basics,
Right.
let's dive deeper into how Beta9 actually simplifies the complexities of distributed computing and explore its impact on edge computing. That's where things get really exciting.
Sounds like we're just getting started. All right, so we've established that Beta9 makes it incredibly easy to deploy AI code to powerful GPUs anywhere in the world.
Right.
But I'm curious, how does it handle all the behind-the-scenes complexity of managing these distributed resources?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. Remember that at endpoint decorator we talked about?
The one that magically turns our Python functions into serverless functions? Hard to forget that.
Well, Beta9 does some seriously clever stuff behind the scenes.
Okay.
When you call that serverless function, it doesn't just pick a random GPU.
Right.
It analyzes things like resource availability, network latency, even where your data is physically located,
Oh, wow.
to choose the best place to run your code.
So it's like having a super smart air traffic controller for your AI,
Yeah,
making sure everything lands smoothly and efficiently.
precisely. And it does all this on the fly,
Okay.
dynamically adjusting as needed. So let's say you suddenly have a ton of requests hitting your AI.
Right.
Beta9 can automatically scale your function across multiple GPUs
Oh.
in multiple locations to handle the load.
So it's like an AI elastic band,
Yeah.
stretching and shrinking to meet demand.
Okay.
That's the classic serverless advantage.
Right.
But now we're talking about applying it to these heavy-duty AI workloads.
Exactly. And that kind of brings us to another key aspect of Beta9.
Right.
Its focus on edge computing.
Right.
Remember how we talked about connecting any GPU, even one in your basement, to the cluster?
Hard to forget that image. It's like turning your home computer into a node in a global AI brain.
Well, that concept extends to the edge.
Okay.
Imagine you're a company with sensors collecting data in remote locations,
Right.
like a weather station in the Arctic, or maybe monitoring equipment on an offshore oil rig.
Places where internet connectivity might be spotty or super expensive.
Exactly. With Beta9, you can deploy your AI models directly to those edge locations,
Oh, wow.
processing the data on-site in real time.
Oh.
You don't have to send massive amounts of data back to some central server.
That saves a ton of time and bandwidth.
Absolutely.
Not to mention if you're dealing with something time-sensitive,
Right.
like a critical safety system, that speed could be crucial.
Absolutely. So we're not just talking about a global network of GPUs. We're
Yeah.
talking about pushing AI processing power to the very edge of the network where it's needed most.
And this is all still done with that same serverless simplicity.
That's the beauty of it. You write your Python code,
Yeah.
you deploy it with Beta9, and the platform handles all the mind-boggling complexities
Right.
of distributing and managing your AI workloads across this vast, geographically diverse network.
Wow.
It's almost like cheating in a good way.
It really does feel like a paradigm shift. It's not just about building bigger, badder AI models anymore.
Yeah.
It's about making AI more accessible, more deployable,
Right.
weaving it into the fabric of our world, even in the most remote locations.
And that shift has profound implications for how we solve problems, how we create value. How we interact with the world around us, Beta9, is, in a sense, removing the barriers to entry for AI innovation.
So if I'm a researcher with a groundbreaking idea,
Right.
a startup with a disruptive application, or even just a hobbyist with a passion project,
Yeah.
I can leverage this platform to bring my AI vision to life.
Precisely. And that's what's so exciting about this technology is
Really?
it's democratizing access to AI, empowering individuals and organizations of all sizes to harness its potential.
Well, it's like opening a door to a whole new world of possibilities.
And it's a door that's just beginning to swing open.
Right?
As Beta9 evolves and more people start using it, we're going to see an explosion of creativity and innovation in the AI space.
Oh, absolutely.
Can't wait to see what people come up with.
Me neither. It feels like we're at the very beginning of something truly transformative.
Yeah,
But with all this potential comes some big questions, right?
absolutely. If access to this kind of AI power becomes this widespread,
Right.
we have to ask ourselves, what does it mean for us? What will we create? What problems will we solve? And even what new challenges might we face?
Those are some big questions indeed. I guess that's for us and our listeners to ponder. But first, I think we need to take a moment to let all of this sink in. Okay, I think I've regained my composure after that whirlwind tour of Beta9.
Yeah.
It's a lot to process. We've gone from bare metal servers to AI at the edge,
Right?
and it feels like we've only scratched the surface.
It's true. Beta9 really does represent this fundamental shift in how we think about
Yeah.
AI development and deployment. But as you said, it raised some pretty big
You
questions.
kind of left us hanging at the end of the last part.
Yeah.
You asked, what does this mean for us
Right.
now that we've had a moment to digest? Can you elaborate on that?
It's the most important question, really. Beta9 provides the tools, the infrastructure, the
Right.
secure and scalable foundation, but the ideas, the applications, the solutions, those all come from human ingenuity.
So this is more than just a technology story. It's a human story.
Absolutely. And it's a story that's just getting started. We're really at the very beginning
Yeah.
of this new era of AI, one where the power of this technology
Right.
is no longer confined to the labs of tech giants or the servers of research institutions.
It's out in the world, accessible to anyone with a laptop and an internet connection.
Exactly.
And as we've learned, maybe even a decent GPU in their basement.
That's right. And while some coding skills are still required,
Yeah.
the beauty of Beta9 is that it abstracts away so much of the complexity.
Okay.
You don't need to be a deep learning expert or a cloud computing guru to get started.
Right. You can focus on your ideas, your algorithms, your solutions,
Exactly.
and let Beta9 handle the rest.
It's like Beta9 is providing the canvas, and we, the users, are the artists.
That's a great analogy.
Mm.
And just like with any art form, the possibilities are limitless.
Right.
We might see new medical breakthroughs powered by AI models
Yeah.
running on these distributed networks of GPUs,
Exactly.
analyzing these vast data sets of patient information
Right.
to identify patterns and develop personalized treatments.
Or picture AI-powered educational tools personalized to each student's learning style,
Wow.
adapting in real time to their progress and challenges.
Oh,
Every student gets a custom, tailored learning experience.
that's incredible. And what about environmental applications?
Yeah.
AI models could be deployed to remote sensors,
Right.
monitoring deforestation patterns, tracking wildlife populations,
Exactly.
or even predicting natural disasters with unprecedented accuracy.
The potential for positive impact is enormous.
Right.
But I think, with any powerful technology,
Right.
there are also potential risks. How do we ensure that this newfound power is used responsibly?
That's a great point. It's not just about the technology itself,
Right.
but how we as a society choose to use it. We need to have these open and honest conversations
Absolutely.
about the implications of AI, about ethical considerations,
Yeah.
about the potential benefits and risks.
Right.
And we need to work together to ensure that this technology is used to create a better future for everyone.
100%.
It's a big responsibility,
It is.
but it's also an incredible opportunity.
Right.
It feels like we're standing on the edge of something truly revolutionary.
It does, doesn't it? And I, for one, am incredibly excited to see where this journey takes us.
Me too.
To our listeners, I encourage you to explore Beta9, to experiment, to learn, to create.
Yeah.
Who knows, you might be the one to develop the next groundbreaking AI application that changes the world.
That's a fantastic note to end on. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of serverless AI on bare metal. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Absolutely.
And who knows, maybe we'll see you on the Beta9 network contributing to the future of AI.